Picture this, you're 32 years old. You're doing everything the financial gurus tell you to do. You've got the budgeting app on your phone. You drive a sensible 7-year-old Honda Civic. You haven't bought a latte in 3 years, and every single month, like clockwork, you take 20% of your paycheck and you put it straight into a savings account. You are the textbook definition of responsible, but then you decide you want to buy a house, or you look at the cost of having a kid, or you just want to take a decent vacation that doesn't involve staying in a 2-star motel. And you look at your bank account, and you look at the prices of, well, literally everything, and you realize something terrifying. That 20% you've been agonizing over, it's not enough. Not even close. You are playing entirely by the rules, and you are still losing the game. I am Ram, and I spend way too much time thinking about the math and the psychology of money. If you're someone who is sacrificing your current happiness to save money, but you still feel like you're constantly falling behind, make sure to hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up if this helps you out. Look, we need to have a serious talk today, because the financial advice you've been fed your entire life, specifically the golden 50-30-20 rule, is fundamentally broken. It's a relic from a different economic reality. Here's the thing. Saving 20% of your income guarantees you will never be rich. In fact, in today's economy, saving 20% barely guarantees you'll be middle class. Let me give you a shocking statistic. According to the Federal Reserve, the median sales price of a home in the US at the end of 2023 was over $417,000. Meanwhile, the median household income is hovering right around $74,000. Now, let's do some basic back-of-the-napkin math. Let's say you make that median $74,000 a year. After taxes, you're bringing home roughly $58,000. You are a good little saver, so you scrape together 20% of that net income. That's $11,600 a year. Do you know how long it takes to save a standard 20% down payment on that median home with $11,600 a year? Over 7 years. And that's assuming house prices stay exactly the same for 7 years, which, as we all know, is a joke. By the time year 7 rolls around, the goalpost has moved another 3 miles down the road. Now, you might be thinking, Ram, 20% is better than nothing. At least I have an emergency fund. At least I'm not in credit card debt. And you're right, it is better than nothing. But here is what most people don't realize. The 20% rule is dangerous precisely because it makes you feel safe. It's a psychological trap. You hit that 20% target, your brain releases a little hit of dopamine, and you think, I did it. I checked the financial responsibility box. It gives you permission to stop thinking about money. You go on autopilot. But when you are on autopilot, you are playing defense. You are shrinking your life to fit your income, instead of expanding your income to fit your life. You're clipping coupons. You're arguing with your partner over a $40 takeout bill. And you're letting the real wealth-building years of your life slip through your fingers because you're obsessed with a mathematical formula invented in the 1990s. Think about it like driving a car. Saving 20% is like putting on your seatbelt. It is absolutely necessary. I want you to wear your seatbelt. If you crash, it will save your life, just like an emergency fund will save you if you lose your job. But wearing a seatbelt doesn't actually get you to your destination. It just keeps you from dying on the way. If you want to get to the destination, which is financial freedom, wealth, options, the ability to say yes to things you love, you have to actually press the gas pedal. And in personal finance, the gas pedal isn't saving, it's earning, and it's investing. So this is where it gets really interesting. Let's look at the difference between a saver and an investor who understands scale. Let's take person A, the saver. They make $80,000 a year. They aggressively budget to save 20%. That's $16,000 a year. They put it in a high-yield savings account, earning 4%. They do this for 10 years. They never ask for a raise because they're comfortable. After 10 years, they have about $192,000. Not bad, right? But remember, inflation has eaten about 30% of that purchasing power over the decade. Now let's look at person B, the wealth builder. Person B makes the same $80,000, but instead of focusing entirely on saving a fixed percentage, they focus on two things: aggressive income growth and aggressive asset allocation. First, they don't put the money in a savings account. They invest it in an S&P 500 index fund, which historically returns about 10% annually. Second, they spend the mental energy they would have spent clipping coupons on increasing their skills. They negotiate a 5% raise every 2 years, or they switch companies, or they start a side hustle, generating an extra $1,000 a month. They don't just save 20%, they invest 20% of their base, plus 50% of all their new increased income. After 10 years, because of compound interest on the investments and the scaling of their income, person B doesn't have $192,000. They have closer to $450,000. Same starting salary, entirely different psychological approach to money. Person A played defense, person B played offense. Now I know what's happening in the comments right now. You're typing, Ram, that's great, but my boss won't give me a raise. Or Ram, I literally cannot save more than 5% right now, let alone 20% or invest extra income. Look, I hear you. I am not blind to the reality of rent prices and grocery bills. It is harder right now than it has been in decades. But that is exactly why I'm making this video, because the system is stacked against you. You cannot afford to rely on outdated advice that tells you just save a little bit and you'll be fine. You won't be fine. The math doesn't work anymore. If you are currently only able to save 5%, beating yourself up because you can't hit 20% is useless. Do you know what you should do instead? You need to fundamentally shift your focus. I want you to stop asking, how can I cut $50 out of my budget this month? And start asking, how can I add $500 to my income this month? Here are the 3 actionable steps you need to take starting today if you actually want to be rich and not just a good saver. Step number 1, automate the baseline, then ignore it. Yes, you need a financial safety net. Set up your accounts so that 10%, 15%, or 20%, whatever you can currently manage, is automatically transferred to your investments and savings the day you get paid. Do not look at it. Do not manually transfer it. Automate it. Then delete the budgeting app off your phone. Stop tracking the $3 coffees. It's draining the mental energy you need for step 2. Step number 2, hunt the big wins. There are only a few things in life that actually move the needle on your wealth. 1, negotiating your salary. 2, switching jobs every 2-3 years to get a 15 to 20% pay bump, because internal raises usually barely cover inflation. 3, starting a scalable side business. 4, keeping your housing and transportation costs low so you can invest the rest. If you negotiate a $10,000 raise, you would have to skip 3,333 cups of coffee to equal that same amount of money. Stop playing in the sandbox. Go where the real money is. Step number 3, treat your investment rate as a flexible, aggressive muscle. When you get that raise, do not upgrade your apartment. Do not buy a new car. Take 70% of that new money and funnel it directly into your investment accounts. You don't want to save a flat 20% forever. You want to start at 10%. Scale your income. Push your investment rate to 30%. Scale your income again and push your investment rate to 40%. That is how you build generational wealth. Look, I get a little fired up about this because it breaks my heart to see incredibly hardworking, smart people sacrificing their youth, denying themselves things they love, all because they think hitting this magical 20% savings number will save them. Saving money is just hoarding cash while it slowly loses its value to inflation. Investing money while aggressively growing your income is how you buy back your freedom. You deserve to be rich. You deserve to not have to look at the price of organic chicken at the grocery store and wince. But to get there, you have to stop playing the game by the old rules. Stop playing defense. Start playing offense. Go make more money. Invest it aggressively and build a life you actually love. If this video shifted your perspective today, please hit the like button. It really helps the channel out. Subscribe if you haven't already, and in the comments below, tell me what is one big win you are going to focus on this month to increase your income. I'll be down in the comments hanging out. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.